All right. So today I had the day off, which is cool. And then I thought, after killing some time on the internet, which is never good, what would be a fun way to do more than that? So I drew this diagram where I was brainstorming if I were to reorganize all the code of Warsmash, try to make an organized version. What would the dependency graph look like? Maybe. And that was kind of cool. I don't know if I'm really going to do that, but it's interesting to imagine doing that. And then you could think about, what is the reason that I would want to clean up the code, on my day off? And I don't think these things would take hours and hours. It's going to be a long time before I clean up the code. But what are some goals? What am I trying to accomplish? And when I think about it, what am I trying to accomplish here in MS Paint? Recently, people on Warsmash are asking for, they don't know it, but I think what they wish that they had is what I would call a shim system. And the idea behind this is that right now on Warsmash, it won't start if you don't have a Warcraft 3 install. And that's stupid. So Warcraft 3 emulation should be a layer on top, and then there should be some kind of shim system. And if we look at my diagram, actually, I didn't really solve that yet. So this diagram that I was brainstorming earlier actually has an issue that this Warsmash client and simulation part should have a, like, Warcraft 3 shim part that depends on both of those. And then if you don't use this, you could make your own game that doesn't need that. Or something, maybe. It's kind of an issue because if we look at this graph, you can see there's MPQ parsers and cask parsers and MDX parsers and BLP parsers and W3X parsers and another MDX rendering technology and the JAS parser and the FDF parser and all these systems. I mean, this is basically what's in Warsmash. It's a brain dump of what it would look like if it was organized, even though it's not organized. So all these parsers, they're you'd want to entirely replace them. Like, what if you're going to put a game on Steam, for example? You'd want to go in here and replace all that stuff, and then it's like, what are you left with? How much of it is? They're not Blizzard's code, but they're inspired by APIs, things like that. How different is different enough? I'm not a lawyer. I just kind of wish we could make stuff. So that's interesting. Those are some problems. So yeah, we have this idea of a shim system, some way that we can replace the fundamentals, like the menu screen. Basically just pluggable menu, really. Pluggable menu system would be nice, which is kind of what FDF was supposed to be, but I didn't really make the part of it that spawns the FDF as pluggable as you want. So that's one thing. That I think this is like what other people want right here. I think that what I started thinking that I would like to have is a Warsmash world editor. I've been kind of light on details on this on the internet, but I've used a couple different editor systems, and I've been still using the Warcraft editor format, and I haven't really made my own tools to build stuff in that format. I kind of think I might enjoy doing that, but the other possibility would be to use Hiveway. And a while ago, I was thinking it'd be really cool to make a video where I get Hiveway and I make a map in Hiveway, and then I play the map in Warsmash, and we could talk about how at that point everything is liberated. Like, if you think of it in terms of open source, some people think of it in terms of like free, like a free download. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm thinking more like the freedom to upgrade what you have, right? Sort of like this open source idea. And if you could make your maps in Hiveway and play your maps in Warsmash, you're liberated. At that point, the final step would be to replace the graphics with your own graphics, and then you'd have a sort of like a little path to take for anybody who gets fed up with Blizzard but enjoys the kind of era of technology of Warcraft 3. So that would be cool. I don't have assets like that yet, but I don't even have a system that would be prepared to think about what format those assets would need to be in, because right now I'm just using Warcraft formats pretty much. So people kind of ask me, like, couldn't I just like sell them like the idea of Warsmash, or like build them like a Warsmash they could just make a production ready game on, and then they don't have to use Warcraft 3 anymore. You could do that, but it would be a really, really technical endeavor. You know, today is my day off. I don't usually have time to think these things through very far, and most of the time, you know, I got a job that's not any of this. You know, this is just me having fun. So the people for whom they want it to be their job, they gotta do that technical effort. I haven't necessarily made that easy. I've just kind of shown, you know, hey, if you wanted, you could build something like this. Try to piece together everything everybody learned while modding Warcraft 3. So now that I'm saying it, and I'm thinking about this Warsmash world editor idea, like this is something where this whole spaghetti diagram, if the code actually were organized in this way, I mean, that would be great for me, because then I could split off right here and say, okay, so here's a concept of a viewport in 3D. I'm going to have an editor that depends on this, and I'm going to use that as my map editor. That would be really cool to have that sort of code sharing. But, yeah, don't yet. So, maybe it would be fun to try to open up Highway, see if we can make a Highway map, and then play that Highway map on Warsmash and just get that experience. And the problem for me is they don't really publish builds of Highway very much anymore. And so it's kind of tough. Like, do I compile Highway myself? How many hours is that going to take? Do I use an old version? That kind of sucks. The last time I launched Highway, I think, was a binary somebody gave me online in Discord. And then I thought, do we trust random people? Now this was is a fairly prolific modder. I think it was Bogdan who sent it to me. But I shouldn't bad talk Bogdan, because he's made a lot of legitimate contributions. He's done some great stuff. I think he's really helped the War Through Champions guys a time or two as well. So I mean, it's legit. But I don't know, you know, binaries off the internet, that's like the #1 way. If the Russian government was going to take over your computer, or the US government, or somebody was going to compromise your computer and mess it up, it would probably be through somebody that pretends to be your friend on Discord and then sends you a binary. Excuse me. So, I mean, I don't know, I already start to worry about Warsmash because I have third-party dependencies, and how long would it be before people make a habit of sort of compromising all dependencies on the internet, right? That's interesting to think about. But how paranoid do you want to be? I guess that's the question. If you're not that paranoid, we could go ahead and try it. Can I make a map in Highway and play it in Warsmash? Maybe I don't really need a Warsmash map editor. It's an interesting thought.